Here's my sales training tip of the day. It doesn't have to make sense to you, it has to make sense to your client. One of the most common mistakes that I see salespeople making is finding a scenario or a vehicle that they believe makes perfect sense for the client that they're working with, solves their problem, gets them to the payment that they want, has the equipment that they want, or is the perfect color, yet they're not moving forward with the deal. Well, the reality of it is it doesn't have to make sense to you, it has to make sense to them. If they're not moving forward, there's something about the deal that they don't like. It could be the car, could be the wrong color, could be the wrong equipment, could be the wrong payment. They may not see the value. Whatever it is, remember, if they're not moving forward, it's not because you haven't been convincing enough, not because you haven't talked them into it. It's because it just doesn't make sense. What I love so much about this business that I've learned over the years is that when everything falls into place, when the deal makes sense and it's the perfect car, the yes happens automatically. There's no fighting for it. It just happens. So if you're not getting that yes, there's a reason for it. So I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to go out and I'm going to ask my team a very simple question. My guess is that we're going to get different answers from just about everybody. Now, what's that question going to be? Currently, what is your favorite car color? Now, they're probably going to answer with a Mercedes-Benz specific color, but in general, what's your favorite car color? I'll tell you right now, mine is olive green metallic. I love it. I'm a big fan of the green paints right now. I think that Mercedes-Benz has an amazing lineup of them. But let's go see what everybody else says. Barry, I have a question for you. What's your favorite color right now? Car color?
Rubelite red.
Rubelite red, really?
Yes, love it.
Because you're a classy guy. That doesn't surprise me at all. Ryan, what is your favorite color of car?
Graphite gray Magno matte finish.
Great choice. Clark Kent, what's going on? Genty, what's your favorite car color right now?
Verde silver.
Nice, I like it. Angela?
Hey, Doug.
What was that face?
I just knew you were coming in here.
Oh. What's your favorite car color right now?
Any of our green paints. Verde silver, emerald green, deep green, any green.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, green is very popular today. Very cool. Oh, Colin. Hi, dear. Colin, what's your favorite car color right now?
Probably deep green.
Ooh, I like that. Nice choice. Oh, I see Jared and Andrew over here. It's Clark Kent and Clark Kent Jr. Jared, what's your favorite car color right now?
Oh, graphite gray Magno.
Without hesitation. Andrew, how about you?
Emerald green, because it's sunny out.
Ooh, emerald green. Good choice. Don, what's your favorite car color right now?
That's a tough one. I'm going to go with an old standard, Obsidian Black.
Obsidian Black. Okay, I like it. Hello, my friend. I have a question for you. What's your favorite car color right now?
Graphite Magno.
Thank you. Inspector, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Question for you.
Okay.
What's your favorite car color right now?
Favorite car color? Selenite gray Magno.
Another matte paint. Nice. All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thanks, buddy. So the greens and graphite gray Magnos seem to have won the day, but what did we learn from all of this? Everyone on the sales team generally has a different color that they love best right now. If those are their favorite colors, so would they be unable to sell a vehicle of any other color to their client? Well, of course not, right? Because it doesn't have to make sense to them. They are not the ones spending the money or buying the car. So always keep that in mind. Don't confuse your wants and needs with the needs of the client.
It's not about the money. Well, of course it is. When a client says that to you, what they're telling you is that I can afford it, I'm just not going to do it. If you're in sales, it's really important to understand what somebody means when they say this to you, because it's always about the money. It needs to make sense to the client if you expect them to move forward. If they're looking at a vehicle and they tell you, hey, it's not about the money, it's a way for people to save face in the sense that they don't want you to believe that they're telling you no because they can't afford it. What they're telling you is that the value isn't there. So the dollars and cents are affordable to me, but maybe I don't love the car, maybe it's the wrong color, maybe I don't like the interest rate, the terms, whatever it is. So you need to understand that when you hear this, it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter what it costs. It means that the deal doesn't make sense, and you've got to uncover why that is. If you're hearing this, the only thing you need to do is offer an alternative. It doesn't need to be something less expensive. It can be something more expensive. When you're hearing it's not about the money, of course it is. If your client says it to you, acknowledge it and say, let's dig into that a little bit. Are we on the right car? Let's look at something different, because it's always about the money. Just math at the end of the day. The good news is we've got great incentives that you qualify for because of your loyalty, and you've got equity in your trade. That's all very helpful. It also is a completely different economic climate that we're in, and the vehicle itself is $8,000 more expensive than the one that you had last time. So when you combine an $8,000 more expensive car and an economic climate that's just more expensive, right? The cars are just going to be more, right? Rates are higher than they were 3 years ago. So you just got to be understanding about it. Like, look, I get it. It would make my life a lot easier if everything costs the same now as it did then. I wish that were true. It's just not the reality of the situation that we're living in. And then I try to pick something that people can identify with. This is the one I use most often because it blows my mind every time. It's like every time I go to the grocery store, I'm absolutely floored by how expensive a grocery bill is. Right? I leave and I feel like I just made a car payment. They make peace with that because that's just a part of their lives they feel like they have no control over. Some people feel like they should be able to just have this never-ending lease payment on a car that is the same now as it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And dude, of course we would love that. Why wouldn't we? Right? If these cars leased for $500 a month, how easy would our jobs be? Right? But that's just not the way it works. Not because we don't want it to be that way, it's just that's the math of it. So here's 39 months. I'll show 42 because that's what he's got now. So yeah, because of this 36-month residual value add program, 42 months is actually going to be higher. 36 months and 39 months have the exact same residual, which means that normally you'd have 36-month payment, then 39 would be a little bit lower, then 42 would be a little bit lower than that. But what you're doing is you're going 36, 39, 42.
Gotcha.
It's very unique. And what it does is it makes 39-month leases great, but then it takes the normal progression of a falling payment that you would have at 42, and it actually oftentimes will make it higher because you're having this massive residual drop, but only 3 more months are being added to the term. Would you rather? Do you remember that game? You know, the one where your friend would give you 2 completely ridiculous scenarios and ask you to choose between them? That game that so many of us played at various points during our childhood can serve a great lesson for anybody who is struggling in sales. If you are in the car business or any other form of sales and you're having a hard time moving things forward in the early stages of communications with a client, keep this in mind. Either or questions are your best friend because either or questions will force an answer and that will help to move a conversation forward. Too many people in sales ask open-ended questions that are very easy to avoid answering, especially in a car dealership. A lot of people that walk in unannounced come in and they just tense up a little bit when they get here, especially if they're not familiar with the dealership and not familiar with you. So what can you do? Well, either or questions. If you're going to walk up to somebody who's wandering around on the lot and ask them if they need help, they're probably going to tell you, I'm just looking. Either or questions can come into play here. Great. Are you looking for new or pre-owned? Are you looking for sedans or SUVs? Are you looking for you or for somebody else? When you ask either or questions in this scenario, you're giving somebody 2 choices and they have to pick one of them. It's very difficult to not answer those questions. And the idea here is that we want to make it easier for somebody to begin a conversation with us without the natural instinctive response of, no, I'm just looking. As a manager, if I'm getting involved in the deal, there's a couple of questions that I'm going to ask. One, have you done business with us before? Or were you referred by somebody? I want to know if this person has an existing relationship with the store if I don't already know them. I can't always look that up because we did have a buy-sell in 2019 and not all of our customer records transferred over perfectly. Another question that I'm going to ask is, what are you ultimately looking to accomplish? Do you have a negative equity situation that we're dealing with? Do you have a car now that just doesn't fit your needs anymore, either because maybe lifestyle has changed, family situation has changed, or maybe you just don't like it and that's why you need to make a change? What timeline are you on? Are you looking to do something now or are you flexible on your timeline? If you're looking to do something now, I want to know how flexible that client is willing to be on what they'll take. For example, if I put 1,000 white GLCs next to each other, they could all be different in some way. That's the blessing and the curse of this brand, is that they are so incredibly customizable that they literally could all be different in some way. So if you want to do something now, how flexible are you on colors, equipment, etc.? If you're flexible on your timeline, are you open to a custom build? And we can get you exactly what you want anywhere in the next 2 to 4 months. One of my final questions is going to be, what's more important to you? Do you want the perfect car or do you want the deal? Because I can help you either way, I just need to know which way we're going to go. If you want the perfect car, we're going to need to take a little bit more time to identify which vehicle that is, and it's possibly going to be more expensive because it's going to be harder to find. Some people want the latest and greatest. Whatever is newest and coolest, that's what they've got to have.
Other people are very straightforward with me, and they're like, hey, look, I'm looking for the deal. You show me the way, and I will show you the way. These are the questions that I'm asking if I'm getting involved directly with a client. And usually if I have to get involved later in the process, it's because the salesperson didn't do a good enough job of question asking early on to identify what are we really trying to accomplish, on what timeline, and what's most important to you. Are you looking for exactly what you want, or are you looking for the deal?